Equestrian Ninja Girls. Written by Wildcard25, the Siren ambush in Stockman's lab. The fly mutant buzzed around while carrying 3 metallic collars. He flew over to the Dazzlings and offered them the neckwear. "Put these on." He buzzed. The 3 each took a collar and fastened them around their necks. "Now what?" Arya asked. "Now the gems," Baxter buzzed before bringing over the 3 gemstones restored good as new. He inserted them into a compartment up front of the collars, locking them in place. "The collars you now wear will increase the strength of not only your gems, but your voices as well. That's all we need to hear." Adagio smirked. Shredder approached with Kara and spoke. "It is time we put them to the test. Are you 3 up for it?" "Yes, Master," they answered. Soon enough the 3 sirens stood in the same arena. They put their ninja skills to the test, while opposite of them were Bebop and Robsteady looking ready to fight. Shredder, who stood above them in a box seat with Tiger Claw and Kara, spoke. "You 3 will put your skills to the test against Ivan Sterequal and Andronzek. Seems like a good matchup," Kara noted. Adagio smirked and spoke. "Master Shredder, if I may be so bold to make a suggestion. Could you add Bradford and Zvert to the mix?" "What?" Sonata gasped. "HM?" Shredder was curious. "It's just if we really want to test our gems magic again, we need more than just these 2 to test it out on." Adagio motioned to the pig and rhino. Shredder pondered, before giving her an answer. "Very well. Bradford. Zver." The 2 mutants snickered and jumped from their seats and down to the arena. "You girls must be begging to be taught a lesson." Fishfist began. "Well, class is in session." Reza chuckled. Shredder announced, "Begin." The 4 mutants took off and fought the Dazzlings, who defended themselves with their ninja weapons, while Stockman was ready to record the data from the fight. The Dazzlings blocked several attacks before they were surrounded by the 4 mutants. Adagio spoke to her partners. "Girls, it's time. Follow my lead." The 3 began vocalizing with their mystifying voices like they did before. Shredder, Kara, and Tiger Claw watched with interest, while Stockman was ready to see if his experiment would succeed. The 4 mutants fighting the 3, however, were confused, and yet felt moved by their voices. Adagio smirked, and she and the other 2 began singing perfectly. As the trio sang, the 4 mutants suddenly felt hypnotized by their voices. They turned to each other and began bickering amongst one another. When they did, the Dazzlings started assimilating their negative energies that pooled from their opponents and into their gems. When they finished, Adagio laughed evilly before Shredder spoke up. "You have done well." The Dazzlings smiled at their master's words. Stockman flew over, and Shredder tossed his candy bar to munch on. "Now you must use that power against the turtles." "Of course, Master," Adagio confirmed, "but before we get to the turtles, we must still collect more energy to be on the safe side." Shredder turned to his daughter, Kara. "Go with them and see to it they gain enough energy." "As you wish, father," Kara answered. "Yay. Girls' night out." Sonata cheered, while Adagio and Arya sighed. Later that night out in the city, the Dazzlings and Kara, dressed in her street clothes, stopped in a fast food place, with Sonata and Kara having something to eat, while Adagio and Arya watched them. "Sonata, why do you bother eating that?" Adagio asked in irritation. "We have our gems back now. Eating this other world food is pointless to us. Just because you don't like to try new things, doesn't mean I can't," Sonata retorted. "Why even bother coming here?" Arya asked. "I'm bored with all this fast food." Kara spoke. "If you need energy, then you need to go to a place with a lot of people. And look around you." She motioned to all the customers seated and enjoying their food. Adagio spoke. "Kara is right, this will have to do. Come on, let's put on a show." She got up, followed by Arya. The 2 saw Sonata still stuffing herself. "Sonata." Adagio began firmly. "What?" "I'm eating," she answered. "Sonata." Adagio and Arya snapped. Sonata, seeing she was defeated, sighed, before getting up. Kara watched as the 3 began to vocalize again, grabbing everyone's attention. The 3 sang once again, as Kara sat back, not wanting to get caught in the crossfire between them and everyone else. As the Dazzlings sang, the customers began arguing with each other, which soon escalated into an all-out riot with food flying all around, and some of the workers taking cover and trying to get to the nearest phone to call the cops. The Dazzlings assimilated everyone's negative energy and saw their work was done. They quickly bolted with Kara before the police could show. Meanwhile, at April's place, April was hosting a slumber party, inviting Twilight and the rest of the Rainbooms for some fun. The girls were currently eating pizza while watching some TV. "This sleepover idea was great idea, April," Pinkie said while eating a slice. "Thanks, Pinkie Pie. I'm just glad you all decided to come. This is my first time hosting a slumber party after all," April replied. "Well, so far you're doing an awesome job," Rainbow admitted. "Yeah, this is what it's all about," Applejack said while kicking back. Suddenly the show they were watching suddenly switched to the news. "We interrupt this program to bring you the latest news." Appearing on the scene of the fast food place was a news reporter. "About several minutes ago, this establishment of fast food delight was the site of an all-out food fight riot that happened unprovoked. No one knows the cause of the outburst, but everyone accounted for at the scene is being questioned." "How does a riot break out with nothing to provoke it?" April asked. "Maybe someone just thought it'd be fun and raised a little ruckus," Pinkie suggested. Several of the girls looked at her with a deadpan expression. Sunset spoke up. "This is still very odd. You heard what he said. No one there knows what it was that caused it. You'd think someone would have remembered." Twilight gasped. "Wait a minute. Girls, I think I know what's going on." "What is it, darling?" Rarity inquired. "I have this feeling it's the Dazzlings behind all this." "The Dazzlings?" they gasped. "How's that possible?" Fluttershy asked. "Yeah. We destroyed their amulets," Rainbow reminded her. Sunset spoke up. "Actually, I don't think she's far off. Adagio told me when we last fought that we'd be hearing their singing soon enough. So they do have their magic back." Applejack gasped. "That has Wade Bad written all over it," Pinkie said. Rainbow spoke up. "No sweat. Remember to gain the real power they need equestrian magic, which is from us. And they can only obtain that is by feeding off our negative energy. As long as we have no reason to be mad at anyone or each other, then we're golden, right?" The girl, seeing some logic in her words, still felt unsure if it was entirely legit. April spoke. "Maybe, but still, we should inform the guys about this." She took out her T-phone to give the turtles a message. Back with Carrier and the Dazzlings, they escaped the ruckus before the cops could show up. They hid on top of a building. As Kara spoke, "Was that enough energy for you?" "For now. But once we have the equestrian magic from the rainbooms, then we'll truly be at the peak of our strength," Adagio answered. "Well, come on, let's get back to the lair." Kara went on ahead. Before the Dazzlings could follow, Sonata spoke up. "Girls." "What is it, Sonata?" Adagio asked. "I was thinking, careful, or you'll overheat," Arya warned her. Sonata frowned, but continued. "I was thinking, why don't we split now?" "What?" Adagio asked. "Let's forget about this whole thing and just get out of Dodge. We got our powers back, can't we just use that and move on with our banishment?" Adagio frowned. "Are you actually suggesting we forget about the rainbooms and our revenge?" "Possibly." Sonata winced. "Sonata, that is the worst idea ever," Arya said with a scowl. "You think we're just gonna let the rainbooms get away with what they did to us?" Adagio snapped. "The humiliation they brought upon us." "Well, yes. I mean no. I mean," Sonata found herself gripped by Adagio. "We are going to regain the equestrian magic we gained from the rainbooms, and then we're going to make them suffer slowly and painfully." Adagio spelled it out for her. "And that includes their little green bodies." Arya spoke. "So either you're with us or you're against us," Adagio warned the airhead Siren. Sonata looked confused and conflicted, but the scary expressions on Adagio and Arya's faces were enough to make her submit. "I'm with you." "Good." Craziness settled, Adagio said, as they hurried to catch up with Kara, as Sonata trailed behind feeling sad at her treatment. The next morning at the turtles' lair, the girls were discussing the events of what happened last night. "You're sure it's the Sirens behind it?" Leo inquired. "We're more than positive," Twilight confirmed. "With their voices back and the way you described their power, they'll be a problem," Donnie feared. "Hey, no problem," Casey spoke. "You girls can just pony up and take them down, right?" "I'm not sure it's as simple as that, Casey," Sunset replied. "Why not?" Mikey asked. "At first we only ponied up when playing music, but last time we'd ponied up when we fought Chrome Dome," Rarity reminded him. "We're not sure how the magic truly works in us, and it could be more unpredictable when we least expect it," Sunset explained. "Well, we can't wait around and find out how it works," Rev said. "Yeah. We have to take the fight to them," Casey agreed. So what are we waiting for? Mikey asked. We fan out and look for them. Leo stood up. Agreed, we'll work in teams. Sunset, Rainbow Dash, you two and Casey go with Ref. Mikey, you take Pinkie Pie, Applejack, and Fluttershy. Donnie, take April and Rarity. Twilight will be with me. The groups paired up and nodded. Alright team, let's go. The two groups headed out. Out in New York with the sky looking cloudy and on the verge of raining, the four groups split up and were each covering a section of the city. Team 1 consisting of Ref, Casey, Sunset Shimmer, and Rainbow Dash were searching along an alleyway seeing everything look normal and quiet. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Ref inspected. Maybe we should look somewhere else. Casey suggested. I agree. Let me message Leo and let him know. Sunset was ready to send a message to Leo, only for footbeds to drop down and surround them. So much for not being out of ordinary. Rainbow sighed. Welcome everyone, came a voice as Fishfist dropped in with his belly sword in hand. I thought I'd find you here. Fishfist. Red frowned. I promised to bring you to Master Shredder, and I intend to uphold my promise. You want us? Come and get us, you walking sardine. Rainbow replied, as the four armed themselves. Attack. Fishfist called, as he led his squad of footbeds into battle. The four fought their best, but through their fighting, the Dazzlings were hiding around the corner lightly vocalizing. As they did that they were assimilating the negative energies from the group, while Rainbow Dash and Sunset Shimmer's energies were filling them up the most. Yes. Just as Stockman said, Adagio began, our gems can now suck out anyone's negative energy even when they're not squabbling. And they're not even aware of this. Arya added. Are we done? Sonata asked. Just a bit more, Adagio said, as they finished assimilating the energy they needed for now. Perfect. Come on, let's move on to the others. They cracked off. With the second team composed of Mikey, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, and Fluttershy. They were scoping out Washington Square Park seeing nobody was currently around. Looks like it's all clear. Applejack noticed. Then we can go. Fluttershy asked hopefully. No, a little extra look around couldn't hurt. Mikey said. Then let's explore. Pinkie declared, only to be hushed by Applejack. So the four looked around seeing no sign of any of their enemies. Fluttershy just looked around having the bad feeling about the whole situation, until Pinkie's butt started shaking. Uh-oh, guys, I'm getting a feeling. Like you're gonna throw it up. Mikey asked, I get that all the time after eating too much pizza. No. Like something's gonna fall. Pinkie answered. Suddenly, as if on cue, footbeds started dropping down before them, the footbeds. Applejack gasped. And they're not alone. Fluttershy said, as Rocksteady arrived. Heh, so this is what Turtle Freak and Rainbow Girls were. The Rhino said. Come on girls, let's get in the game. Mikey whipped out his chucks, as the girls readied their own weapons. You four are no match for Rocksteady. Footbeds, let's do this like the Brutus, huh? Rocksteady asked, while wielding his hammer. Rocksteady and the footbeds went into battle against the four, with the Rhino mutant ramming Mikey into a lamppost. Okay, that's smarts. He groaned. Hang on, Mikey. Pinkie jumped in and started going at it with Rocksteady, who tried dropping his hammer on her. Lucky for Pinkie, the girl was proving to be too fast for Rocksteady to keep up with. As the fight went on, the Dazzlings were hiding again and assimilating the negative energy from the fighters, especially Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Fluttershy. Team 3 composed of Donnie, April and Rarity were looking around Chinatown. Rarity looked around. Oh, if only we weren't on a search mission. I would love to take advantage of authentic Chinese ensembles and fabrics. The fashion girl said while looking at some of the stores. Save the shopping spree for later, Rarity. April whispered. Yeah. We gotta remain focused, Donnie said, as the three continued to search around. Well, definitely no sign of them around here. I'll call Leo, and let him know. April was ready to call, only for a laser to knock her T-phone out of her hand. The three jumped before seeing Bebop appear. What's happening, fools? Bebop asked with a cheer. Oh, great, it's Bebop. Donnie sighed. What are you doing here? Rarity demanded. Just dropping in to say hi. I find it hard to believe. April said, while whipping out her tussin. Okay, y'all got me. I got orders from the boss man. Footbeds. He snorted, as the three were surrounded by the robot ninjas. Let's get this party started. What the wow? He led the Footbats into battle, as Donnie and the girls fought them. And just as before, the Dazzlings were assimilating their negative energies from them. 6 raindrops down, and 1 to go. Adagio smirked. Then let's meet up with the boss man, Arya said, as the Dazzlings left while Sonata still felt unsure. Elsewhere on Bleecker Street, Twilight and Leo were surveying the scene from the alley and saw everything look normal. How does it look, Leo? Twilight asked. All too quiet. That's never good, Leo answered. They were about to go, until Leo's doctor, wait. You hear that? Hear what? Twilight asked. Sounds like, oh, no. Leo gasped, and suddenly striking out of nowhere was Serpent Carrot. Leo. Twilight called, as she ran to help him. I knew you'd come, Leo. Now that you and Twilight are here, everything's fallen into place. Kara hissed. What are you talking about? Leo demanded. I'm sure you know by now the Dazzlings were the cause of the little riot last night. I took them for a little takeout, if you will. You took them to feed their gems. Twilight called her out. That's right. And already they're filling up on more energy, courtesy of your brothers and friends. What? The two gasped. And you are next, Princess. Kara went to strike at Twilight, who blocked her as much as she could only to get tripped off her feet. Kara was ready to finish her, only for Leo to jump in and knock her away. He then jumped back over to Twilight and spoke. Twilight, are you alright? Yes. I'm fine, she replied. You need to get out of here. It's not safe, Leo warned her. Twilight, upon hearing him, thought, wait a minute. This is all looking familiar. Oh, no, she saw the street sign was indeed Bleecker, and the stuff Leo just told her, this is the scene from my dream. It's all happening now. No. I can't let it come to pass. I have to help him, she spoke up, but I can't leave you. I'll be alright, now go, Leo ordered. Twilight, not wanting to leave Leo, suddenly heard blaster shots fire at them. The two looked and saw standing on top of an occupied bus was Shredder, Razor, and Tiger Claw. Oh, no. Not them. That can only mean one thing, Twilight thought in worry. Shredder laughed and spoke, what a glorious day for vengeance. He looked behind him. Alright, you three. Sing. Twilight and Leo heard the sound of vocalizing, which Twilight knew full too well. Shredder and his 2 mutants made way, revealing the Dazzlings. Twilight saw the trio of Sirens were wearing the same collars they were wearing in her dream, and that they were assimilating our Equestrian magic and took on their half-Siren forms. This is bad, Twilight thought. And now finish them, Shredder ordered. The Dazzlings and 2 mutants went down to attack them. Twilight armed herself ready to fight, only to get pushed out of the way by Leo. Twilight, no. He took the group attack from the 5 enemies. Much to Twilight's horror, seeing Leo get attacked, saw her vision had finally come to pass. Naya. Leo. She screamed. Giggle. Thank you for observing this visual transmission. If this media file successfully stimulated your reward circuits, please execute the like action, deposit a textual comment below, and transmit this data stream to a designated peer. Tilt head. Farewell, light-headed or